Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at my 76 Master Grade, the Gundam 00 Riser. Now, as a lot of you may know, I do voice work for iShopToGo.com. I voice some of their promotions, and for my work, they pay me in Gunpla. That's right, they're feeding my addiction. And this is one of the kits they paid me in. So I wanted to say thank you to iShopToGo.com. I wanted to recommend you guys all go there and buy some stuff and help keep me employed. Now, I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this review. It's highly anticipated, so let's get right down to it. To start off looking at the head, we have this clear green section here for the eyes. Now, you get a few options with the eyes. You can do just the stickers for the eyes, or the center section. Or you have these stickers here that come on the decal sheet that have clear eyes. You can kind of get that green glow behind it. This will help out a lot more once we use the LED. Here you see the head completed. Very, very detailed head. I really do like the head on this kit. Not a lot of lining. I do love the fact they have a silver sticker that goes behind that red jewel. That gives it a really nice glow. Here's the chest piece. Very, very similar to the 00 Quanta distance frame. You got that side waist movement. Nice bend down to the shoulders. Very detailed, very nice. And you see that back section there, that is where the one LED is going to go. And here you see the chest and the torso all complete. It has this little latch here that you're going to take off. It's going to slide open, and you're going to slide the one LED that comes with the kit. You see the arms. Again, very, very reminiscent of 00 Quanta, not surprisingly. And we have some hands here. Now we have one hand that is the standard 3-1 and then the thumb hand. That comes on lots of Master Grades. But we have a new kind of hand here. This is similar to the wing hands in that the fingers connect into the hand. But unlike the wing hands, they connect into the knuckles as opposed to the palm. These are meant to be used for the weapons. These kind of become a problem later, but I'll talk to you about that in a bit. And here you see how the hand's going to open. You get a fist and a trigger finger for that kind of hand. But those hands do not move except for the thumb. Here you see the upper half of the kit. Not a lot of lining to do, but you do got some. There are some bad nubs on this kit, but for the most part they do a good job of hiding them. You get excellent posability with the double bend in the wrist and a nice big bend out of the shoulders. The joints are a little stiff on this kit, but with very good cause, which I'll talk about that in a bit. And you get real good movement out of the head, neck movement in two different places, so lots of posability, lots of options there. Bottom half of the kit, again, a little bit of lining, but not much. Again, you get the clear green with the sticker underneath. It looks very nice. You get two beam sabers with clear blades. They're there, but I barely use them on this kit. Again, great posability. You get that extreme ankle bend, big bend out of the knees. Hips aren't a problem. The side skirts occasionally want to pop off, but that's not a huge problem. Doesn't happen that often. But overall, really nice legs. Again, kind of stiff, but with good cause. Now, you get two GN drives that do not come with LEDs. However, if you have the Exia, and it came with the LEDs, those LEDs will fit just fine. That's what I did here. And you get a really nice glow out of the GN drives. It looks really, really nice when they're hooked into the 00 Gundam. And you also get a set of GN condensers. Now you got to use the same bottom piece on the GN drives and the condensers. And once again, you can flip those LEDs into the other and they get that kind of a glow. They're very easy to swap out. The condensers are from the movie, but truthfully, I'm going to be using the GN drives 99.9% of the time. And here's the shoulder section where the GN drive is going to hook in. And it has this little latch. See, right now it's wiggling just fine, no problems. But if you flip this little switch on top, then it holds it up. Now, it will not go down beyond that point. That's going to come in useful later. See, the backpack just plugs right on into the back. This little section here. So that, like the 00 Quanta, it means you have to turn on the LED and then put the backpack on if you want to do that. and the places for the GN drives will move forward to go into the front of the kit. Lots of posability there. And here you see all 3 LEDs lit up. The one in the head, you get the glow in the eyes, which looks real nice. You get a glow on the side of the head, and a glow out of the back. This is all due to that clear green piece that acts as the frame of the head. And that looks very nice. So you have to dim the lights. It's still not very bright. It's nowhere near as bright as the Exia was, but it still looks good. And flip those GN drives forward, and that looks pretty cool as well. Now, right now, the GN drives will extend all the way up, no problems, and you don't need to use that latch. You will later. You get a very strong connection to an action base. This isn't an Exia situation. Very strong connection, no problems. How strong is that connection, you ask? That's strong. No problems here, no issues. Now, the 00 is a great improvement over its predecessor, but the O-Riser is a huge improvement over its predecessor. The O-Riser in other kits was more of an afterthought, except for the perfect grade. Here, this is a very good O-Riser. Very detailed frame, very nice looking. You do have a fair bit of lining to do, much more than you did on the Gundam, but you still got some work to do here. You have that clear orange section, or you can do this smoke white section for the front of the O-Riser. That looks like the cockpit, even though it isn't. Now, if you take the binders here, you see there's another place for an LED light. You're going to slide it in there. You get that glow there, and you get that glow on the inside. Quite frankly, I'm not that impressed with this. You really don't need an LED here. The 00 riser has a possibility of 5 LEDs. Looking at this, you don't need 2 of them, so you really need 3 LEDs. And here you see the O-Riser all put together. Again, some detail work needed, and looks nice though. And we have some landing gear on the bottom. Or if you prefer, you can just collapse it and have these little gray sections that connect in to act as if the landing gear has been pulled in. Now, starting with the accessories, which we got a lot of. First up, GN Swords 2. Got it here in rifle mode. Got some lining to do here, not a ton. The handles collapse into one handle, which is kind of nice, and they latch together. Flip that latch up, and you got your sword mode. For you handling these weapons, they suggest using the bracket hands, where you connect the fingers into the knuckle. Those hands were very loose in the wrist and weren't that good. I used the standard 3-1 and then the thumb hands, and those turned out great. Exactly why they said to use the bracket hands, I do not know, but the 3-1 and then the thumb hands work just fine for these kits, or for these weapons. Again, full extension with both GN swords or GN rifles, no problem. Switch it over to sword mode, no issues whatsoever. The shoulder and the elbow joints are plenty strong, no problem. Now you also get beam effect parts, very big beam effect parts for this, in this clear pink, which attach on as so. And you see they are pretty huge. Again, no problems holding them. And you get this connector here, which connects onto both GN swords to create a double GN sword. Well, double-bladed, and is perfectly balanced, so there is no balance issue with that. And as you can see, one hand is no problem holding this beast at full extension. You can get lots of poses out of this thing. And it's a nice strong hold. Shake it, rattle it, roll it. It ain't dropping it. So let's take it to the next level. Add on the beam effect parts. Yeah. Still, no problem. You can see this guy is huge. I can barely fit it in frame. So, you got lots of options to play with. The shake test, no problem. Now, if you move the panel down here on the side skirt, you can attach the GN swords onto the side skirt with this little plug. Attach it on just fine. They do not rotate well at all, so quite frankly I don't use this just because they kind of get in the way. GN shields, again, some lining. You can hook it onto the arm, but I find it very complicated and tricky to get on there. But once you got it on, you're good. But it takes some effort to get on there. You can connect the GN shields together as so and create one big GN shield. But again, same problem, very tricky connection, but once you got it, you're good. You can connect the GN shields underneath the GN drives. Much easier connection, no problems here. And you can connect them onto the binders of the O-riser. Again, easy connection, no problems here. And once you got them on, you're good. GN Sword 3. Very big weapon, very big accessory. Again, more lining to do. For some strange reason, one side was particularly difficult to line. I don't know if it just didn't have very deep grooves or what, but you have this connection here. You add it onto the O-riser. You are then allowed to connect the GN sword underneath the O-riser, and then you can connect that onto an action base. So as long as you have the GN sword, you can get the O-riser on an action base. And that looks pretty cool. And if we take off the binders, we get down to business. Now we have this little half circle section that you connect onto the binders. This allows that to connect onto the shoulder binders on the 00, and you get that binder effect. But you can see they're still too heavy, which is why that latch is there. You pull that at full extension, it will hold to here. You can't get any higher than that. You can see it just drops back down, but it holds it at that place. You can get some pretty good extension out with that little latch. You can turn the binders forward, but it's very loose when you do this, so it can be kind of tricky. It can be done, but they get kind of loose when they start moving anywhere but straight down. Transforming the O-riser, kind of tricky, but once you got it, you're good. This little latch slides open on the backpack, and you connect it in there. Now, remember how I told you those legs and arm joints were very stiff? Here's why. If you had the legs nice and spread out and strongly planted, this is not back heavy. It will not fall over. For as big a kit as this is, that's pretty impressive. Let's push a little further. GN sword. The shoulder is a nice strong attachment. The elbow is kind of loose for the GN sword. It's a little too heavy. But again, we're still standing. Let's go a little further. Get this thing at full extension. No problem. The shoulder's still good. Like I said, the elbow's a little loose. And you can see the balance is starting to get a little wobbly, but it's still standing. Okay, let's take things a little further. You get beam effect parts for the GN sword. We'll add that, and we'll get the binders at full extension. It's still standing, folks. The balance is very on edge here, but it's still standing. That is impressive. Now, one little tap and this guy has fallen over, but the fact that he can do that at all is very impressive. GN Sword 3 with beam effect parts, full forward, again, no problem. The elbow isn't quite strong enough to do a bend, but the shoulder is plenty strong enough to hold that extension, no issues. Now, there is always one catch, and here's this kit. The decals, in a word, suck. They're not that good. You get one nice one for each shield, and that's about it. The decals on the no-grade designer's color were 10 times better, and I'm sure we'll get those decals when they announce the water slide in a couple of months, but the decals that come with this kit aren't anything to write home about, to say the least. And here you see the 00 riser, LEDs on, all the decals on, all loaded up with shields, binders, GN swords, ready to rock on an action base. Connections slightly looser with everything loaded on, but you're good. Final thoughts on this kit. As you probably guessed, this kit is getting a thumbs up. There are flaws with this kit, but most of them are minor. Some bad nubs, decals aren't that great, but these has some great accessories, great posability, looks great airborne. You only get one LED, but truthfully, you don't need 5. 3 is enough, so as long as you got the XIA beforehand, you're good. This is a big thumbs up. If you want this kit, get it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it now. We have a new leader. As of right now, this is your 2011 Kit of the Year. We'll see if anyone can beat this. Well, thanks for watching. I know this was a long review, but we had a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, comments, leave them below. I love reading them. Stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and one more thing.
Hail to the king, baby.